Thank you, Paul.
Very good.
It's nice when you have one of these big monitors and you can see everything. I went
Yeah.
and bought a curved monitor.
Oh,
Amazing how much you can see out of this thing.
yeah. And at the other end is Lynn on her like little mini phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only 2 pictures at a time. You know?
Right.
Hey, better than
Lynn,
mine.
show us what you got.
I've got one of Deane's big crystals.
Oh, nice.
I became the proud owner of these, and they're lovely, and they were very powerful for her.
Mm-hmm.
For me, they're beautiful. I don't feel the power of them, but they remind me of her. I have her wedding ring that I put on when I got it,
Hmm.
and it's been on ever since. So every day when I twist my rings around, I say, "Oh, Deanie."
Well, show it to us, the ring, a little better.
Okay, it's the top one on the pile. See it?
Oh, yeah.
Nice,
It's-
yeah,
Very nice.
But
yeah.
Great.
different. And well, one of the things he and I were pretty close. We talked on the phone every week at least,
Yeah.
and shared a lot of things. We always thought that when we got really old, that
That ain't happening. I refuse to
Oh, Ken.
participate.
that if we ended up both being alone, that we would get together and live together in our rocking chairs and drink a beer, a glass of wine, and have good.
Man,
Or
I
two.
can't hear
Rock
them. They
together.
can't hear
Yeah.
me.
Nice picture.
So
We got you, Ken. We can hear you.
Yeah. Hi, Lynn.
Hello.
Ken, Linda. Yeah.
You're on.
Yeah. Just start talking.
Still figuring it out.
Oh, well. We'll get there.
I'm wearing a little bead necklace.
Yeah, I think that's
Got
it.
on the heating vent in my bedroom.
Ah,
Put it on today to wear here. It's like, it's just one nice colorful bead on
I
a
think
string.
my
I think
overall
that
sound
Alex
is-
made that.
Well, I got it
I
when
think
we
so.
divided up all of Deane's stuff. That's all I know.
Oh,
well, I have a number of Deane's macrames and things around my house,
mhm.
some of her jewelry that she made, and all of it, she said, if you look at it carefully, you'll find one bead or one thread quite perfect in the design. And she said, because nobody's really perfect. So all my
Mhm.
show that. That was pretty cool.
Nice. Nice.
yeah.
So that you have the whole thing.
Hey,
Full
hello.
screen. Full screen.
All right.
Hey,
Ah,
Hey.
touchdown.
can you hear me now?
We can. Awesome.
We can hear you before when you were swearing at the screen. Ah,
Right.
well, let's see. Eric, older brother, how are you these days?
Pretty good, pretty good. Everything's humming along here. I'm still in the remodel mode on the home.
Do
It's
you guys
gonna
have
last.
like your own garden there that you're growing, half of your eats?
That's Diana. I don't touch soil.
You only eat it?
Wood person, totally.
Yeah.
Is that like buffalo chips?
No.
Oh, golly.
Hey, Matt, have you gotten any progress on like your moving, Social Security, all of those pesky life situations?
Government bureaucracies have been fed and they're moving at their own pace. They tell me I'll know what's happening in March.
Ah,
Oh, that's a long time.
Just got an ID card for Medicaid in yesterday's mail. So now I have all my healthcare IDs. So
Good.
Good.
But he doesn't have any money. And he applied for that like a year ago.
yeah.
They're just,
that's what we're waiting for March. So they make a determination.
Yeah, but you should still have gotten you should get regular Social Security.
Yeah.
I don't think so. They tell you they'll pay you retro to when it took effect, but they will not even hazard of when those payments might begin to come. They're not even gonna try to guess that.
Well, for I don't know if you care if I say you're asking for Social Security disability, which is why it's taking longer, because he's got to get particular paperwork in. And how many thousand years have you worked in different jobs? And with the last 1,000 jobs you had?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, but
Fill out a
it's a
long
lot.
form on pain management. And I'm in the process of filling out a long form on the last 15 jobs and how much I lifted, how many times a day. And I'm trying to impress upon them that like I don't have bodily dysfunction and I'm not in pain. I just can't breathe all the time. It seems to be a category they're unfamiliar with.
It's one of those optional things,
All those people that claimed not breathing have died.
We're convincing enough at the beginning.
Yeah, it's still upright.
Yeah. Puts them off the grid.
So it occurs to me just a couple days ago that Les probably spent more time with Deane than all the rest of us put together, and he's no longer here to contribute.
Yeah,
There's a big hole in the proceedings.
that's true. Yes. He did. Yeah, he did, because he was at my house for as long as I could handle it. And then I kind of palmed him off
A couple
on
of
Deane
days,
for
In a little bit longer.
Recording in progress.
What?
That's you, Eric. Oh yeah.
I-
Is Diane there next with you?
He's logging on.
She, front door. Excuse me.
Jeez.
There's a feedback loop somewhere.
It's Diane there. One of your computers has to go to mute.
Actually, you need more than one. You got to shut the
Sorry.
microphone off on one and the sound off on the other, or else
Ah,
I just muted them both. It's all good.
oh, you can do that, huh?
I
You
can
got
do-
power to mute people.
I do.
You're next year.
Yeah. Try to use
I
it
know.
sparingly.
Just kidding.
There's Barth in the fog.
He's still connecting though. There he is.
Hello.
Welcome, Bart.
Jeez.
Mark is coming to us from the beyond.
Yeah, you got a little bit too
He
much
must
light in the background there.
On that, yeah. It's just, I'm so bright, my mother called me son. So.
Sunny.
I think you're full of it.
Watch it, son. I've got windows behind me. I guess I'm gonna have to move.
Okay.
That's better. Oh,
Hey, it's not a lot better, but
That's-
we're improving.
Yes, it's improved.
cool.
Good deal.
All right. So
Nice.
So Bart, do you remember anything about the service for Deane? We talked about it a little. Were you there? I thought you were.
Yeah.
I did the West Coast one. I drove down with
Yeah.
Barry and Mo. And
Let me see if I can get this on.
we're trying to make better picture here. Hold on a second. But I can talk.
Let's see, we wanna do this one.
It was exciting. There was a lot of people there.
Mhm.
I would say there was, I don't know, probably 100 people, maybe. She had a lot of friends down there.
Why is it so white?
I don't know. That's
light
what
in
we're
the
trying,
background. Turn the light off in the background.
What's it in front of the tree?
because it was way brighter over there.
Ah,
muchos.
That's a little
beginning to
better.
have features.
None that I can improve on, but
Well, yeah. Well, some people just don't have that ability.
Yeah,
um,
I think I'm sitting in the dark.
yes,
You're
yes.
fine. Yours is coming pretty good, man.
Okay. Anyway,
Wait a minute, and if you turn this sideways, hang on.
my assistant is assisting me, so please bear with me. If anybody has anything to say, go ahead.
I'm
The noisy assistant is assisting. Okay.
yeah. Well, hey, Ken, how are you doing these days? Well, you might be muted.
No, Ken's not muted.
He'll be there.
I don't know if you can hear us.
Yeah.
oh, wait.
I don't hear him.
No.
Okay. I'll do it
Well, I
again.
want to say hi to Sheila. That's
Yeah, hi.
that's who's in the picture, right?
Uh-huh.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, it's been a while.
Are you all in Canada or are you all in Oregon?
Portland. We're in
Ah.
Portland, yeah.
So you're visiting, not them.
Yeah, we brought Wiley down for his birthday and for Christmas.
Nice.
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 Cool.
When are you going back?
Early
That's
January,
horrible.
probably
Mhm.
a few days into
Okay.
January.
Oh,
Unless I make it so they can't leave. Yeah, Mo might blockade us here.
We kind of want to keep the baby.
We wanna
You
keep
can go
Mom, too.
home. You can go.
Okay, yeah, good luck.
oh yeah.
Not really, I was kidding.
Right. Well, yeah, Sheila, isn't it your job now to just spoil that kid rotten?
Of course,
Somebody's got to do it.
See,
because he can't have sugar
Yeah.
enough, so I can't really properly spoil him.
Cool.
Hey, somebody
I'm
doing a share screen. Okay. Interesting.
Just hang on, participants. Okay. No, it's not.
The wonders of technology,
Yeah. Or the lack of wonders.
or the lack of technology. I got so many computers in here. Bart's in the other room. I mean, Matt's in the other room using another computer.
Ah. And it's an excellent picture.
Oh, thanks.
That's one of the two laptops in that computer in that one.
Ah.
I got 2 computers in this room and 5 computers in the basement and 3 under the table here.
You're not that guy that was hacking into all the crypto stuff, are you?
No, it's just that actually I'm thinking about buying another computer just because the amount of work that I'm doing it takes time. And it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, these are all except for 2 computers in here are all refurbs I got from customers and
Mhm.
blown out hard drive, blown out memory chip or whatever. They decide to buy a new one. I fix them, use them. This i7-6, and the new ones i7-13s,
Mhm.
which are like 180% or more faster. Just
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, Ray, down in the corner. How are you?
Good, good. I'm trying to send a message to Kenny that we can't hear him here.
Oh. Yeah.
There's chat on this thing, so somebody else talk.
Oh,
I sent him a chat. I don't think he's getting that either.
Oh, okay.
Well, disconnect and make them reconnect.
just make a little sign and hold it up for him to read.
oh, who's got
It's the low-tech solution.
Yeah, really.
I have
Sneaker net, you know.
Yeah.
I have paper here. I'll make a sign.
Okay. There you go.
What?
See?
What's the shortest, sweetest thing to say that would get the idea across?
Ken, no, we can't hear you.
I don't think he
I'll
can
make,
hear
how about
us.
sound question mark?
All right, there you go.
or
Lack of.
Yeah. Yeah.
WF.
I'll say no sound, question mark. A big pen here.
No audio.
Oh, how do you spell audio?
XYLMNOP.
I don't know why. I have no idea how to get your picture back up there. Talk, maybe talk and it'll show.
We can see you.
We see you. We
We can
see
see
you.
Eric.
We see her.
Yeah, we see
Okay.
Eric just fine.
I'm-
We've been seeing you guys all along.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm talking, so where am I? I've got this sign here.
Well, just hold it up kind of where you see your face, you know?
Matt's got
I
it.
don't see myself either. I have hair.
Oh,
Oh, there I am. Okay.
Now we can.
Now we can.
up,
Now,
up a
can you
little,
see the sign?
up, up.
Yes,
There.
yeah, I can, my audio is coming in and out, so I'm only catching about half of what's being said. So if you're talking to me,
Hold up a sign.
well, right,
Yeah. it was-
And then, if you're not getting
my
the,
turn.
if you're not getting,
Hi.
then you might want to just turn off your video and see if you don't get better audio, less bandwidth.
You're cutting out.
I'm gonna send you a chat.
Why don't you have them disconnect and then reconnect?
His probably got low bandwidth down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else on here, but we're out in the boonies, so.
Right. It's that last mile of string. It's sort of holding things up. Yeah.
And my friend got T-Mobile 5G Wi-Fi cell-based, and he said he does really good with it. And it's only $25 a month.
But probably not in the boonies yet.
Well, but you never know, because a friend of mine was in the mountains and they had it up there. And so
Okay.
$25 a month
Okay.
is usually a pretty good price.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So,
You
yeah.
can always go to the satellite.
Now, any of you guys have any good Deane stories?
Can you remember some story left told about Deane? I was trying to think, but I didn't think of any.
Really? We should have given him a tape recorder, I guess.
Yeah.
Really, Mo?
Well, who'd have thought,
Most of us don't think much anyhow, but
Yeah.
I miss Deane. She was a person that when I was getting married the second time, she came up and we talked to Lynn, and Lynn and Deane and I talked about, let's go get some flowers, and we brainstormed and found a place downtown, and we all went down there, got the stuff, came back, and they were like furiously putting stuff together. I just remember how well she just was adjustable to things, and
Yeah.
nothing was a particular problem, or if it was like, okay, 30 seconds later, all right, this is what we got to do.
Right.
And
Yeah.
full steam ahead. Damn the torpedoes,
Yeah. Yeah. She had a lot of hurt, really.
Yeah.
That's,
And I always planned to get out. I called her every, how much I call people, but every couple years I'd give her a call and say, oh yeah, we should get together. And then she goes, oh sure, come out and visit, and da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And of course, like a lot of things, it never happened.
Well, I did a nice visit way back in the 70s. She and a friend came across country and came down here and stayed with us for a couple of weeks. And did all kinds of yard work and cooking and had a grand time. And that was the last big stay last big amount of time I got to spend with her. It was excellent. I also remember way back, probably the 60s, when she just a little tyke. Jerry and I had the 3rd floor big bedroom, and she had taken the little bedroom outside of it. And we got her case for some things. I don't remember just what. She always felt a little downtrodden with us big girls. And one day she left a big note scribbled on a piece of paper laying on her bed. It says, I am running away to Kentucky. Goodbye. He's for a long time. Oh, you're running away again? Kentucky? Yeah. That was a long.
Yeah, that's not a line that would work well in our household growing up. Oh, good.
Yeah.
One less.
Yeah.
Did y'all know that when she was ready to start school, she has a December birthday like I do. And in North Canton, where we lived, they wouldn't accept her for kindergarten or first grade, whatever the beginning grade was. And
Oh, no, Lynn, you got it a little wrong. She finished kindergarten while we still lived down there. And then she was ready for first grade. And St. Anne's, you had to be born by September to get in the first grade. So they weren't going to let her in the first grade. So finished, Lynn.
so she ended up staying with Grandma and Grandpa Wernet for the whole first grade year. And then
Uncle Jimmy.
and Uncle Jimmy. And I think the rest of us were a little bit jealous that she had all that grandparent time. But then again, the grandparents were pretty strict. So sometimes we thought, oh, poor Deane.
Yeah, I don't think she loved that whole experience. She brought it up a couple of times over the years, or yeah, they just left me.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, I just talked to Cliff and sent him a link, so he should be getting on here in a
Oh,
moment.
good. Good.
Who else is missing? Bernie, I left her messages, voice message, text message. Who else is missing?
Bernie goes to estate sales and stuff on the weekends. She's got an awful lot of really nice stuff. She's good at finding the stuff that's worth money.
Mhm.
Oh, I like those kind of people. As long as it's
She
not
had
my money.
an antique dealer came to her house, looked over all the stuff she had and bought $1,500 worth of stuff from her and
It was
told her
probably
what other kind of things
$30,000
he was
worth
looking
of stuff,
for.
though.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does have a good eye for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, Les had a good eye for that stuff too. And it's like, he would go to the, after
Thrift stores.
the thrift stores and
Mhm.
buy shoes and pants and shirts. And I'm looking at, these things are really good. And he'd tell me all about them. And I'd go with him sometimes and I'd just cover my eyes and go, oh, just pick me something. This is painful to me. Hey.
There you go.
Well,
you
he
know,
evidently
Yeah.
he evidently just bought stuff instead of laundering anything.
Well,
yeah, I see Matt nodding. Yeah.
all right, Cliff.
Matt found out the hard way there.
Trying to get on.
Hey, look at that. Hey.
Hi, guys.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Hi, gang.
Hey,
Where's that kid? Come on.
He's at his house.
Good place.
You're the
Yeah.
grandfather. Why aren't you there now?
I was there yesterday, all day yesterday. Insulating the basement or the crawl space of his house because his house is really cold.
Did you get it done?
I did not. I got about 5 hours into it. I'm about 20%, 25% done.
Will the rest of it be easier?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I
thought it
love
would
that
be-
answer. No.
I thought it would be easier, but no, it's just time consuming. So
Yeah. You putting up the roll stuff?
I'm putting up the roll stuff. So I thought that, well, hang on a second, guys. Did I lose you?
No,
oh, we see.
you're
Oh,
you're
my
with
computer.
us.
My computer lost you. You
Ah.
guys did lose me. So there we go.
Todd sends his love. He's not going to be able to join us today.
Ah, bummer. So is everyone doing well? Everyone looks well.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yes.
Looks like you're doing pretty good there,
Yeah,
bud.
things here are doing great. We're doing great. We're doing wonderfully great. So we're very happy to have a grandson. So he's 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks old, and he's doing real well.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Mhm. He's gaining weight. He's barfing a lot, crapping a lot.
They do that kind of shit.
A perfect kid.
Good to
Yeah,
know
and
his
he's gorgeous,
plumbing
too.
works.
Yeah, it does. It does. So yeah, they're healthy and everyone's doing well. And Yeah, and we're all doing well too. So
Nice.
Hear it.
mhm. Looking forward to the big Christmas bash coming up on Christmas, which we will host. So that'll be the baby's first time out. So they're coming here.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
And if
But
you
we've all gotten our flu shots and some other shot and our COVID shots and all that crap around the baby. We're worried about all that crap, since so much stuff's going around.
That's worth being worried about.
Yeah.
It's a bit brutal.
Yeah.
Well, Cliff, some of us talked about our memories from the memorial services on the West Coast. And you were there at that, right? You got some memories?
I was there at that. No, I don't have any great memories. It was a bummer. So I can't say it was a great time. It was good to see the people that were there, but no. I just say, I'm kind of at the age now where I don't have any memories.
Yeah.
Big
swirly time.
They're
How
further and
convenient.
further
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, the memories I have are like when I was very young. Anything after about 12 is gone.
Well, do some of you remember when Deane had that apartment down on Coventry and she made that patchwork carpet out
Yeah,
of
I do have some
carpet
lots of memories
samples?
of that place. She used to have the
Yeah,
best
I don't
parties
have much, but
ever.
I
She had the
guess.
very, very best parties ever. And yeah, went there a lot.
Hello.
If my sound is clear enough, I'd like to jump in with a story about that apartment. Would that have been mid-70s?
Yep.
I got an invitation in the mail from her and inviting me to a celebration. And there were 3 names on it, Deane and 2 others. And I thought the way that it was posed, I thought maybe I was being invited to a 3-way wedding. I did.
With Deane, how would you know?
Well, if anybody was going to do that, so I went. And I found out that it wasn't a 3-way wedding, but I went with my girlfriend at the time, and we stayed over and had a wonderful time. Slept in the same room with all the coats. Couldn't actually find the bed.
You weren't cold.
Yeah. Those were big parties.
Yeah.
It was a swell party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the because she worked with everybody Earth by April at that time, so the food was great and people were great, and as just a youngster, I had a really good time.
Party boy.
Yeah.
So I've actually talked to Cindy Barber, who runs the
Somebody
beach
set up
ballroom.
a small band in the corner. I was thinking that one of you guys played drums. Who would that?
I did. Yeah.
Well, at that party, if there was a band at that party, that was probably Joey Hunter's band.
That's
our,
right.
Our neighbor, because he had a pretty good band at the time.
But one of you as drummer? No.
Nah.
What? To see everybody? No, that's my non-face. That's
Okay.
me. Okay.
No, it wasn't. We weren't in the band.
Yeah,
We were
great
just.
party.
I think I might have been probably running sound or something. So.
Well, I think I said this last time we Zoomed, but Deane told me that
Say something.
she had
That's it.
learned to allow herself about a 10-minute pity party occasionally. And she would give herself 10 minutes to bitch and moan about whatever was going on. And then that was the end of it. Seemed to work for her. And the other wise thing that I remember her is one around New Year's, she decided that since she enjoyed so much talking to all the siblings, that she was going to make a resolution to every Sunday call somebody. And she did it pretty faithfully for quite a long time. And I thought it was a great idea. And I've resolved it a few times, but I never actually did too much on it.
It almost sounds like she was adopted or something.
Wow.
Maybe she got that from grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
No.
You know? I have a lot of the jewelry. I could spread it out and show it to you if you want.
I have some.
Yeah, I think we did manage to get that passed around pretty widely, I think.
No, I still have a box that we put together for Cleveland, but I never sent it. And now we moved, so God knows where it is. I mean, I can recognize the box, but
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Who's in Cleveland? Nat, Mark, and Ray. How much jewelry do you guys wear?
It's and Eric.
that's what I figured. And plus, she had a lot of these bracelets made out of safety pins, the large size safety pin. And then, like all the way around with some fanciness on each edge to hold it together. Evidently, that was a big style at some time because she had a lot of them, but evidently they didn't all sell.
Yeah.
I actually had a conversation with my kids the other day about art and the time you put in. And she used to bitch like nobody's business about all the people who would just be like, I don't want to pay this price. She's like, what the fuck is my time worth?
Yeah, right.
And she used to drop that F-bomb pretty regularly on that one. She's like, you know what? I worked my ass off in this stuff and you guys want to go and tell me this is not worth it. So she's like,
Yep.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
yeah, agreed.
Look
But
who just showed up here.
Hi, Bernie.
Wernet.
Nice.
Hey,
Can't hear you.
No audio, Bernie.
She's not muted though.
No, I know that's.
She's a mutant.
Drive over to a bigger cell signal. Hi, Diane.
I have to activate the microphone.
What?
She's on a cell phone, so she's probably got to activate the microphone.
Do sign language.
Yeah.
We all know.
Yeah,
I only know a little.
we only know a couple of gestures though.
And they're not polite.
They are universal though.
They are universal.
It's funny that this is like just the second conference call we had, and it's just great to hear, all the conversation going around and people talking and smiling faces, and my screen's so big I had to keep turning my head to figure out who's talking. But it's like, wow, this is awesome.
It's almost like a reunion.
Almost.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And we didn't have to cook or clean.
it's cheaper.
Yeah.
That's
It's
what I
nice, and I suspect this is as close to reunions as we're likely to get anytime soon.
Right.
Well, what are you waiting for?
Grandbabies now.
Yeah. Who likes to travel still?
Not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not coming to my house, but I don't really like to travel either. No, I'm just kidding.
Given it a lot of thought because I've considered springing for a vacation, a reunion. But we got to find someplace near an airport that we could all fit in.
I think Hawaii would be really good.
No. It is. So I thought maybe around Denver there.
You guys would like it, but you'd all be bunking in the 2 spare rooms.
Oh, we didn't say we'd stay with you. We'd stay at the hotel.
Yeah. No. But anyhow, the best idea I could come up with for where was Cleveland. It's real centrally located. And I
It would
thought,
certainly be
geez,
cheap.
we should do it somewhere else.
I
But,
like that.
getting everybody to travel. Cleveland, some people can drive.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah,
have
that
the-
would be Eric and
I know
Ray
I could
and-
drive.
We're
Jan
driving
and-
next Monday.
yes. Looking
Well,
forward
we
to
should maybe we should try and do Zoom calls around people's birthdays. They're scattered around.
I don't want to see you all again next week.
Oh, that's great.
So this one's.
Or you could all join me in
Deane and
Florida.
Eric's
I'll be there at the
birthday
end of March. So
Yeah.
Yeah, this.
Florida, end of March. That's my spring break. I'll be down.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
We here.
Well, because I've been to almost every one of your places except for Hawaii yet. I mean, I've managed to actually visit pretty regularly. as-
We
as
got a
things
new
work out.
place now.
Well,
you have to come out
I
here.
haven't been out to Portland or Seattle in quite some time, so.
Here's my dog.
Nor have
my
I been
dogs.
to Colorado for a while.
Well, Cliff comes occasionally because it's on his sales.
On my route. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've got a cool place. You need to go to Colorado Springs, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. We do have a place, so we can handle, 2 couples at a time.
They got a
You
big
got it.
place.
It's your own
Or a
bathroom?
family with kids.
Bathroom attached? Come on. I'm selling the
Yeah, 3
place.
bathrooms. Yeah.
That's right. Well,
Yeah.
Colton's not there anymore, so.
Yeah.
Bernie and I were out there in September, and they
Mhm.
have a big, nice house, really nice.
Yeah. Some of those rooms are filling up with garbage now, but we can clean them
Oh,
up. Or stuff. Maybe stuff's a better word.
oh, did you get this little message from Valerie?
Yeah.
Oh, she gone?
Hey.
Oh,
Yeah,
there.
I
No,
just
she
didn't want to
said they
break
were
up the
getting on.
flow, but we're gonna head out.
Nice.
Okay, great to see you guys.
Nice to see
Love
you.
you
Sure
all.
was.
Getting on the
It's
call.
nice to
Sheila.
see the baby.
Yeah,
Teach that
really.
baby
Thank
sign
you.
language.
Bye. Bye, guys.
There you
It's
go.
good
Bye.
to see y'all.
Bye.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, can anybody hear me?
Yep.
Now?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
still
can't see
can't
you, but-
see me very well, and I can't do anything about that. We're having technological problems, and I'm the Luddite of the group, so.
Maybe it's a blessing.
I was resisting that.
Not much, but it was.
Not successfully, obviously. Okay, you asked before about, did I have any recollections about the memorial? I did. It was winter time, and we were coming through the mountains. It was cold and icy. We were driving Moe's Taurus, I think, and the trip down was pretty smooth. We got there, and we were bummed, and it was hurried, but it was a relatively smooth traveling, and we arrived and stayed with Cliff, and it was crazy. But the next day was pretty busy, and we had to go into town and where they had this venue set up, and like I said, there was a pretty good turnout. She had a lot of friends in the Bay Area. Most of them I had never met and have never met again. I did some officiating. Cliff did some officiating.
Joe did the most.
Yeah, Joe did. And I cried. I tried to talk to people from the pulpit, and I cried. Not all the time, but it was kind of sad. But Valerie and Mo got together and sang. They did a James Taylor tune.
I remember that now.
And unfortunately, in my advanced age, I'm drawing a blank on which tune it was.
Can't remember.
They were a good pair at singing.
Yeah, I wish I would have mentioned that when they were still on the phone or on the call. That was very nice. That was a highlight.
Yeah, they're both pretty musical, although their lives have changed a lot. And it was appreciated. We just thought about what we could do on the way, and they thought that would be a good idea, so they worked on it, and they were able to pull it off. But it was
Did we lose you, Barth?
No, he fell asleep.
Yeah, well, you're frozen. Well, he doesn't know. He's frozen.
That wasn't so insanely accurate. I couldn't.
Yeah, I'll let him know. We've lost him.
Yeah.
It turned into be a memorial service for Barth, huh?
Yeah.
Let's hope not. Let's just hope it's a video died. That's it.
No, anybody planning on dying, pick some other month,
Ah,
not December. We're
Yeah.
busy.
Fair enough.
yeah.
I'll see if I can pencil it out in the calendar to make it fit well.
Yeah,
There you go.
a sign.
Everything in December is canceled, right?
Yeah, we're booked up.
Well, I think it's appropriate that, when traveling to a memorial, that you choose to use music around Deane, because there was no question that that was a central theme for her. Always hanging out at their place, music was always on, and that's still one of my base pieces. When I've gotten, last time we were together, I was talking a lot about Les and music that he had left for me and that had become part of my collection, but it actually started with Deane. When she and Jeff decided they were going to travel the country and find a place to live, right? I mean, that was they had no intention of going anywhere in particular. It's not like Deane to offload everything, because she did. She was never one to hold on to a lot of things for sporadic pieces, but when she left me a box of records, a couple of which are still mine. So I will admit, I did not keep the Fleetwood Mac. I still can't get my head around that band, but I do have a really crushing copy of Bob Marley's Burnin' that was very much hers, very much a first press. Cover's seen some bad days, of course, but the vinyl thing's true. Actually busted it out in high school for a prayer meeting I had to put together as a junior. At this point in time, Catholic school, pretty much the only thing that was keeping me there was I needed to graduate high school. So I kind of did things on my own spin. And one of the pieces is, you had to create a prayer service around some theme. And so my theme was unity and amongst people. And one of the pieces I pulled out was a piece from Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life, which was a staple in the van for vacations, by the way, 8-track tape version of it. And One Foundation off of Wernet, which totally fit the piece. And everybody in my class is like, what the hell are we listening to? But, 17 and growing up with you people, things got to be a little bit different in my world. So I came directly off that album. Of course, I recorded it on cassette to make it happen, but.
Of course.
I haven't grown up yet, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
it doesn't count.
You're the only one. You're the only one who didn't throw music my way. Just saying.
Yeah, for a semester, I stayed with Lynn in Florida because my parents thought I was flipping out. But when I got back, Deane had an apartment on Mayfield Road. And so I started hanging around over there. And one of the things about it was they lived at the back of the first floor. And it was one of the old Cleveland Heights apartments. But the hallway had great acoustics. And a fair number of times, Deane was out there very late at night singing Laura Nero songs in the hallway. Sounded really good. I don't know if the neighbors appreciated it, but it sounded great.
I was just going to mention that she had Laura Nero before I ever heard her, decades before I heard her from any other source, and all of Dionne Warwick and all of the Fifth Dimension.
Yeah.
I still know all of the songs.
Yeah, I have all the Laura Nero albums. So you're welcome to have them if you want.
So
She's a surprisingly good musician. Yeah. Hey, Ray.
You're back.
I'm back.
Yeah.
For better or worse, you got me back.
Where was I?
And why?
You were talking about the girls singing at the memorial. and
I
how
was
great that was.
Trying to remember what song.
I think it's "You Can Close Your Eyes" is the song, James Taylor's song, and it was well received. They were very good, and there's something about siblings singing together that the voices tend to overlap and mix wonderfully well. And I don't have any recording of it, but I wish I did.
Yeah, that was my fault. I was supposed to record it, and I was like pressing the wrong button on my camera.
Like Betsy does that. Yeah.
You know, talking about siblings and stuff like that. Ray and I went down to Chris's funeral, and
Good.
it was really nice. And her son got up, and he did a superb job of talking about Chris Kunkel and, you know, Whitlatch, and you know, all the things that she would do. And they sort of analyzed her and said, you know, because her mother died, you know, she just never kept anything and cleaned up stuff and didn't keep stuff around. And I was just really felt like I knew her so much more by the stories that were told and the people that were there.
That's nice.
It was really
Yes, and thank you, Mark and Ray, for making the trip. Really meant a lot to Dick and the family who came. And I don't know how many of you were on the, I believe I sent an email out on Sister Jones passing, so you're all aware of that.
Yeah.
Horrible health for many, many years, but well, it's been a tough year for the Conkles, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And by the way, today would be my mother's 101st birthday.
Wow.
Happy birthday.
Nice.
Wow.
Go December.
Yeah.
Hey, Ken, do you remember when your mom passed that I happened to be?
You're cutting out, Lynn. Say it again, please.
I came to your house. Actually, my dad said, pack up a few things. You're going to Canton to take care of the Conkle kids because their mother has died. And I, okay. And for the whole summer, I was the cook and the try to ride herd on you guys. You and Jim, almost as old as I was. So I was no authority figure. It was just try to keep some peace, provide food and clean clothes. But
Say hi.
I don't remember that, Lynn. I should, but
the girls were the little lost soul. You boys, you took off on your own and played with your friends and did stuff. But little girls and I were pretty sick. They were so sweet.
there's much about those days that I could recite. It's as clear as though it happened yesterday. There's other things that I just have no recollection of at all.
It wasn't really important, but it was interesting to me.
Nice to do.
Well, thank you if I never said that.
You're welcome.
That reminds me that didn't Deane get to go on maybe more than one trip with people she babysat for? That guy that was a music Pavlich? That isn't quite right, but
I think that might have been Jan with the Perlix or something like that.
Perlix, that's
Yeah,
what
that
I'm
was
thinking of,
Jan's.
but
Yeah.
I thought Deane did that too.
No, she was already out and about. She was older.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yep, you did
Well,
it too, Bertie.
you know,
I remember.
I started everybody in babysitting way young. So she was certainly babysitting before she moved out of the house and stuff. But
oh yeah,
Yeah,
did
not for
she
those
babysit
kids
for
because they weren't
somebody?
born yet. So.
Somebody across the ravine on Euclid Heights?
Yeah.
That's
That was
Perlitz.
a-
That's
They were
Perlitz?
too young for Dean to have babysat then.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, we kind of had a babysitting empire started up for a while.
Yeah.
Darn
I
right.
babysat too when I was younger.
Yeah.
I babysat.
And
It was
then
great. It was, he
Babysitter,
got me out of
well,
the house every
yeah.
Friday and Saturday night for the whole night. It was really excellent.
even though they let you off at 9 o'clock, right?
Exactly. That's more like 11, but
I know people would call in and go, "Oh, well, can I have Dean babysit for the kids or something like that?" I go, well, Dean's booked, but you can have Barth, or you can have Matt.
Yeah.
That's how you boys got into it.
yeah.
People weren't having boy babysitters back then.
No,
But
No.
And then some of your good clients, they started requesting
I can listen
the
to them,
boys,
but I
as
can't participate.
their kids got older,
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh, there you are, Bertie. You came through.
What don't you know?
I
No
think you got
picture,
a
but we
poor
can hear
cell
you.
connection. Hold that phone up higher.
I'll try.
do you see me?
No, but we can hear you
We
now.
hear
So
you.
just put the phone on the roof of the car or something.
I'm finally home.
Oh, all right.
Well, get on
Turn
the
your
real
camera on
computer.
I have my camera on.
I'm sure
No.
you do.
But you don't have the thing on in the app. I mean, not the app, but the
So
program.
you're on your computer now, right?
No,
Oh, that.
I
yeah,
am
with the-
on my phone.
yeah,
Okay.
you've got to let the app use your camera.
Fine.
Yeah.
Had it
to
on.
hear you.
Easy for you to say.
Come on, Lynn made it work. You can make it work.
Some of those buttons down at the bottom of the screen, something might work.
Something might work. It sounds like me in programming. Let me try this. This didn't work. Okay, let me try that. I get it.
Sounds like me and
Banging it
teaching.
on the table.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nope, now she's muted.
Yeah.
Make it
Remember when I used to get that free fabric cloth from my friend Diane?
Yes.
And we all made patchwork quilts, and I made those patchwork hooded winter capes for the guys. Ponchos, yeah. And I think Deane made a lot of patchwork skirts and stuff because that was the fashion.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the kitchen table being used by Jan, and I think Bernie too. I can't remember it being used by Deane. And then we met all the storefront owners down in Coventry because they used to sell that stuff to the down in Coventry to the stores.
Oh,
and
when they
resell
made it?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. And all those at that time, many of those store managers were just really beautiful girls, like in 18.
You went down to
Les and I
help
would
out.
go down and wash we'd wash their windows and stuff for a quarter.
Can I help you?
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's great.
I don't know. The thing I remember about our kitchen table in winter was peanut brittle.
Oh,
Making that. That good stuff.
Peanut brittle.
I've made thousands of pounds of peanut butter, at least helped.
Yes.
yeah.
It
Yes.
stretched a lot of it.
And 800s.
Does anybody make peanut butter now or even know how to do it?
Yeah. Susan makes
I don't know how
it.
to do it.
And
I'll
it's
unmute you.
really, really simple because it's a microwave thing. It takes like 10 minutes or something. But it doesn't get pulled, so it's more like it's thicker and it's not that sort of
Candy.
wispy stuff that my mom used to come up with. But it is peanut brittle.
Yeah, I
You
think the
can pull
last ingredient Mom used to stir into that was like baking soda.
Yeah, baking
that's
soda.
true.
Vanilla.
It
Yeah.
would
Yep.
fluff up.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
pour it real quick and start pulling it.
Right.
But
we
nowadays
still-
they just make it real thin and pour it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Well,
One of my
does anybody?
coworkers- One of my coworkers came in with some peanut brittle that his wife made. And it was good. It wasn't pulled, but it was thin and it was crunchy and totally acceptable. So
Anything sweet is totally acceptable.
In a
it
pinch.
didn't stick to your hands or self-destruct all over your clothes. It was good.
Yeah.
All right,
There you are,
Bernie.
Bernie.
Hey! Holy crap.
Yeah.
Pain in the ass.
If the Luddite can get on, you can get on.
I know, really. And barely, but
Love you,
yes.
Bart.
You look good, lady.
Yeah, thanks. Finally home.
Good deal.
I was listening to you guys, but I couldn't, you couldn't see me while I was driving.
Nope.
Nope. Probably didn't want to see you while you're driving.
No, I didn't want you to see me. While I know, it was terrible.
The hand gestures. Yeah.
So you're all doing well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Super.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yay. Yay. We're just here.
Yeah.
It's with snow on the ground.
Yeah, same here.
There you go.
We had
Much?
snow yesterday, but it's all gone.
Ugh.
Huh?
You had snow yesterday? I didn't.
Well, here's the
like
picture.
2 miles from Mark, so it's like he has snow and I didn't. Is not a shocker.
All right.
So I don't know if you can see that, but there's a picture from yesterday. That's the first time I held Junior or live.
Aw.
Cute.
He is
Nice.
cute as can be,
He
man.
is.
You'd be happy. I don't know. You're
Yeah,
hoping.
because he's not quite 3 weeks old yet, and we just didn't want to get. I didn't want to get sick. So
So
we're
how
trying
are
to-
they both doing?
they're
Mama?
very tired. Otherwise, they're actually doing pretty well. I mean, Colton's got 2 jobs, and so he's working 2 full-time jobs. So he's kind of hanging on right now, trying to get rid of one of those jobs and get more money from the other one. So
There you go. And some sleep.
yeah, and the baby does sleep. So
Good.
he's known to sleep. So that's good.
Well, I told them at any time one parent should be asleep. No
I don't
parent.
know if they're quite there yet because it's so, it's so new. The baby
new.
makes noises, sniffles, and snot. They both wake
Yeah.
up.
Oh gosh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
So you could lecture them all you want, but it's really kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Then they just get mad at you
Yeah.
and they're tired. So
The first kid is made of like really delicate crystal and china, and the second kid's made out of rubber.
Yes.
Rubber
With
paper.
Paul, every time he'd toss a toy out of the playpen, I would wash it before I put it back in. With Andrew, they find little pieces of cereal on the floor and eat them. Okay.
yeah.
When Tyler was a baby, like crawling, Cliff brought him over to my house, and we were chatting away, and I turned around, and he was in the cat dish chowing down. He's like, don't tell Betsy.
And the cat wasn't complaining.
No, he was bigger than the cat.
Well, Tyler, his head is about the size of a globe, and he couldn't pick his head up for a long, like till he was pretty old. Where this little Lyle guy's already picking his head up and turning and looking, and 3 weeks.
That's the right kind of scotch. What the hell?
Yeah. Anyway, we're pretty happy about that and all that. So
Yeah. It's always good.
That reminds me of another Deane story.
Right.
Mom told me when Deane was a little baby crawling around on the floor, her favorite activity was finding little pieces of lint and stuff, which of course was quite easy on our floors. This would have been in North Canton. And she would crawl into the kitchen and poke the stuff down the hole to the basement where the gas for the stove came up. We had the same thing in Cleveland. You guys remember there was a
little bit
drill
bigger
hole in the
hole,
floor, and the gas pipe came up to the stove. But there was a little room around the pipe, and that she just loved doing that. She just put in anything she could find that would fit down there through that hole. Mom thought that was funny.
that's funny. There's probably a couple $100 down there.
No, you could
Dad
see
never
it
had
fell
an
on the
idea,
floor.
And if he had it, it wasn't putting on the floor. That's for sure.
Well, I remember when I worked at Deane got me my first job at Earth by April, when I was bussing tables there. And so I don't think it was, it might have been the first year I was there or the second year I was there. So I was probably like 14 or 15. And that was the first time I ever had marijuana brownies that they made on the kosher stove at Earth by April. They had trays and trays and trays of them. It was really fun. And it was also, we had great food. It was fun.
Never had any of those.
No, they're pretty good. But I recommend not having any at this
Get me a
point.
glass of water.
At this point, you probably should start investing in that shit. Certainly better for your joints. No, so Cliff, I was actually talking to Cindy Barber. Do you remember that name at all? So she runs
Yes.
the Beachland Ballroom here in Cleveland.
Yeah, she's from Cleveland Heights. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. No, we somehow came into conversation that she actually had done that whole Birth by April side and knew Deane, and
Yeah. A lot of
and
people
so
did.
that's kind of it's been kind of a cool little tie together. I mean, she really is a pretty monumental human being in Cleveland scene, music scene especially. So it was nice to play the Deane card, actually.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is for me to hear all these things because I was gone, family, and I didn't know 1/3 of this stuff. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of escaped early because we were on the top of the heap.
Yeah.
And it was
We
really
could
good to
get
get
out.
out of there, you know.
That's right. Any excuse to be gone.
Yeah, there was an exodus out of Cleveland.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, two of you guys joined the army just to get out of the house.
I don't think that was it.
Anyhow, I have a Dean story that relates to Jerry's that, about picking up lint. Well, my mom, we had a Hoover vacuum cleaner that I had a vacuum for some reason, the carpet in the living room and the dining room. And she's picked lint up. So I vacuumed her and she just went bonkers. Because I would suck her flesh in with the little extension. And I thought it was so funny. She was just going hysterical. So I calmed down, but every time I turned on the vacuum cleaner, she was gone.
Like the cats and dogs, yeah.
Like the dog we never had.
Yeah.
Mark didn't like vacuum cleaners either.
Me?
Still doesn't.
Yeah.
We've been to his house.
That was probably because of Rick as well, though, I'm sure.
That reminds me, both Mark and Matt were born with moles right between their eyebrows, and Mom and Dad had them burned off right away when they were
With
babies,
the vacuum cleaner. With the
No,
vacuum.
I'm gonna suck this thing out of your head.
Those Hoover vacuum cleaners were pretty hardcore, yo.
You know, that's interesting because I certainly didn't know anything about that, but I keep getting a sore right between my eyes, where all of a sudden it's okay, and then pick and
don't pick at it.
Yeah.
That might be a little PTSD.
Show me where it is, Mark, because
Right,
I think I remember where your mole was.
Right there.
Yeah, well, maybe I would have pictured it a little bit higher. I see the red spot.
Yeah.
I would have pictured yours a little higher, but I could be thinking of Matt's, But they were both right between the eyebrows, kind of.
Yeah, and then I know Mom told me once, it's like, because my belly button protrudes where most people's don't. Oh,
Yeah, you were an outie.
Take them to the doctor, find out if that's okay. And it's like, yeah. They said I'd survive. It's like,
They never took
and they go,
us to the doctor for
In the car, I got you a stand that you might use to hang a plant.
Yeah, we never went to the doctor for anything ever.
Oh, yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Yeah,
did.
Dr. Frank.
If you were bleeding.
No, if we
So
were
they
broken
take us to the ER
severely.
when we were bleeding.
Yeah,
They
if we were
took me
bleeding
down
badly,
there.
we just went next door to the co-pains.
You guys, yeah.
Yeah, fix us. Oh,
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, you sell drugs?
Or if you just needed some
You guys hear
barbiturates.
me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
We went to the doctor. Mom would take us in the Taylor Tot. We would cut through to Somerton and go down that street all the way down the hill to the
Middlehurst.
Hampshire.
Middlehurst to the Mayfield little clinic there. And it would be Les in the baby seat, Cliff behind, and Jan and Matt in the wagon, and I would walk. And then she'd haul us all the way back up that hill.
Wow.
I don't remember that at all.
Certainly
Was that
remember
right?
those little
Well, you
parades.
were young, you were in the Taylor Tot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
was
think
that
I
by
even
the
wrote
cemetery?
I wrote a poem about that.
Was
You want to hear it? You have to wait.
Was that by the cemetery? You know,
In the-
going,
She went to go get the
No.
poem.
sorry.
I remember those little parades, but I don't specifically remember going to a doctor. If you'd ask me, I'd say, I never went to a doctor in my life.
On
Yeah.
purpose.
I went to plenty.
Well, I know some of us older kids, at least me, we get on the bus and go all the way out to 185th Street to the dentist.
The dentist.
Oh,
By
yeah.
ourselves, you know? When
You're
when you
Whitmer.
get to the little South Theater, get off.
Was that Whitmer's?
Yeah.
Me
Yep.
too.
They're with-
Yeah, so what we did, by the time we came up, they just closed on Saturday and we just did Saturday. So Dad would just drive us all down there. We'd spend the whole damn day there. And they would just go one after another after another.
Is that the dentist?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
When I
remember-
moved to Cleveland, that's when, Cupie Whitmer had been in the army with Dad. So that's how he knew him. And so Dad got us all arranged to get in with him. But I was 12, just turning 12 when we moved up there. I had 13 cavities.
Oh,
He
shit.
had to keep going week after week until he got those all taken care of. Then after that, he took care of us really, really good. But evidently, we hadn't had dental care back in Canada.
Well, when I was in high school, I worked for him. I was
Yeah.
the Saturday nurse, the assistant.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
And then when you left, he was all bummed out and didn't hire anybody. So I worked there in your place for maybe just like a month, like 3 or 4 Saturdays till he hired somebody. It was like, oh, so yeah.
Yeah, that was
I
the
would-
incentive plan. We're gonna make Bernie work for you until you hire someone.
Not really. Lynn's not available. How about take Bernie? Like babysitting.
That is funny. That's funny.
Dr. Whitmer said that Lynn had perfect teeth. They were perfectly aligned.
And she still does.
No, yeah. No, I have mine crossed over in front.
Oh, yeah.
I had it crossed over in the front, and Dad, he took the Christmas pictures every year, and Dad would tell me not to smile with my mouth open because of that thing. But then when I was in my 20s, after I had some kids, I had my wisdom teeth pulled because they couldn't get all the way back there to fix them. And that kind of helped that, that cross part eased up a little. So then I thought, well, heck, now my teeth look good. I'm damn near perfect. Because that was the only thing that
I've been
Dad ever
confused ever
tried.
since.
Maybe now he'll love me.
Good luck with that.
I
one.
never doubted they loved me.
Just didn't like us very much.
Yeah, right.
At times.
We on the top deck, we got the good stuff.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I have to
It gets
say,
strange.
You were talking about
I chipped my eye tooth on Kathy Wintrick's head in the St. Anne's parking lot during recess.
Oh,
Dr. Whitmer
So,
filled it in.
so is it?
You can never tell the difference that anything ever happened to me. And that was his last official act before he retired.
Ah,
There you go.
and it's held up all this time?
Yeah, it's, I've had several other dentists go, they couldn't tell anything was happening until they did the x-rays and then had to look again, like, hey. I've got other orthodontia that you can tell it's different from my teeth, but right on my eye tooth looks absolutely perfect.
I have almost all of my Dr. Whitmer fillings still.
I've gotten rid of mine, most of mine. I
Yeah.
think, do I remember wrong, but I seem to not be aware of Novocaine until I went to a different dentist.
You're not wrong. That costs money. That costs money.
Yeah, I
You
didn't,
get
I
it
was like,
extra.
I didn't know that existed until I went to my own dentist. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Look at this. No, because one of those Saturday mornings when the whole herd of us were in there, and then mom and dad just took off, left us there.
Yeah, they probably went shopping or something, right?
Yeah, I know, but they were good. Oh, for free babysitter. Anyway, I had to get a tooth pulled, and he gave me Novocaine, and it was so numb that Mark and Joe and Barth, you were all there. You all were smacking my face because I couldn't feel it. I ended up having this really scab on my face, and it was right before we went to the New York World's Fair to pick up the
I didn't go to that.
VW station wagon.
The only thing I
hatchback.
remember about that station wagon is Lynn trying to drive us on vacation in it one time.
Me?
Yeah,
Oh my.
the clutch. We were all like, the whole, it was so funny. The whole thing, the thing was packed, where everybody was in it. We're on vacation, and we couldn't do the clutch, and we're all like, all together. She's like, it's hilarious. People would drive by us just laughing at us.
And you're still laughing.
Oh,
I don't think you drove us more than a couple blocks, okay? 'Cause,
Well,
anyway, guys, my battery's going dead on my computer, and I've also got to get going.
All right.
See you later.
Great to see everybody.
See ya.
Thanks for
Yeah.
next time.
Love
Try to
to the
send me.
baby.
I will.
Yeah.
Next time, try to send me an invite. Then I'll be on time.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get one either, so don't feel bad.
All right. Everyone, take care. The very
All
best.
right.
All right,
Love
Merry
you.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, and Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Oh,
And happy birthday. No, well, you birthday kids.
Oh yeah.
thank you.
Barth and
One
I
more
went to.
medical,
Oh.
one more medical commentary. When Joe and I were youths, I guess we were probably 8 and 9, something like that. And we were fighting in the living room, as we were prone to do.
Yeah.
And he pushed me hard against the arm of the couch, which was solid wood underneath and a thin layer of padding on top. And my arm really, really hurt. And so I kind of nursed it all day and sniffled and stuff, and went to bed in the double bed that night. And I rolled over in my sleep onto my arm and woke up screaming because my arm was actually broken. Dad came over and calmed me down. He said, well, I guess we're going to the doctor in the morning.
In the morning, yeah.
Why go now? It's like, yeah.
That's what they did for me too. Matt and my friends we had a English racer, and the tires were low, but we were going down to the store. So it's like, I think I was on the handlebars.
Yep.
Yeah. Or on the handlebars. And it was like, Matt, don't pedal, the back tire's low. Matt, don't pedal, the back tire's low. And then we went to the sweep into Pick and Pay parking lot and wiped out hard. Went to the store, got our candy. But I dislocated my shoulder, and I guess I fractured my arm. And so they brought over Yui next door, and he had me lay on the floor, and they put his knee on my clavicle and yanked my arm in. And then the next day, Dad took me to the emergency room, and I got a sling. It's like, ooh.
Yeah.
All true.
I know.
Well,
Bastard.
There was gravel I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
And, I
And
was
the back
digging it out
tires
of my
left.
knee for years.
well, at
Yeah.
that age, you have no fear and no sense. So,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Yeah, we went and got our candy.
yeah.
Important stuff.
That was what the goal was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to finish out what you started.
When we were
Yeah.
kids, Mom and Dad took Barth and I to New York City with Mom, Dad, and Uncle Jim.
And Granny
they had
K.
a hotel at 74th in Amsterdam. And
Yep, always.
they went off to Sunday Mass and told us to stay in the hotel room. But when they got back, we were riding up and down in the elevator, and we got down to the first floor, and the doors open. There's Mom, Dad, and Jimmy. We're like, oh shit!
Come on, we just came down to get you.
Oops.
Well,
Yeah.
the other thing about that trip is he bought us a little spring-loaded helicopter. It was just like a top where you'd wind the plastic whirly thing on the top that was ringed around the outside, and then you could pull a cord and it would launch and it would fly across the room, and then you could get it and do it again. Well, we did this for an hour or so successfully, and then it went out the open window. And we said, oh, we're screwed, we're never going to get another toy like that, And so Dad was out somewhere, and he came back in and said, I got a piece for your toy. It was about 6 blocks away, laying on the sidewalk.
Oh man.
I've got
He
one.
didn't know it was our toy, but it was.
I got one of those New York stories. When I was in, I don't know, about 5th grade, we went to New York, and it was Jerry, Lynn, Rick, Ray, Mark, Deane, and Joe. And the girls had navy blue jumpers with white blouses, and the boys had navy blue shorts and Kelly green nylon shirts. Everything was
Sucker.
Later.
Great. Yeah.
Sucker shirts, that puckery shit.
They were nylon, though, not
Sucker.
Okay,
seersuckers,
but they were
cotton.
puckery.
Yes, they were puckery.
So Mom
They
could
were
just
great.
hang them up and wear them the next day. Well,
Yep.
one we're going to the zoo and going on the subway or elevated, or whichever part of each. And when it came time to change trains, I think it was, everybody got off and everybody got back on the next one except Joe. The door.
Ray. Me.
No,
got
it was me.
Mark.
It was Mark.
Mark,
I thought it was Mark.
it was the littlest one. And there he was on the
It was Ray.
Yeah,
Ray got it. Ray.
yeah, it was.
Don't move.
It was me. Now, and Dad opened up pulled the rubber and says, "Don't
Don't.
move."
Stay right there.
And this nice guy saw what happened, and he says, "All right," he says, "Don't move." Your dad said, "Don't move. I'll be right back." He went to the vending machine and bought M&Ms and brought them back for me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I never
Yeah.
heard that one. Good.
And
I
we
didn't
were
hear
all so
that.
jealous because he got candy
Yeah.
for not following directions. He got candy.
Really. And that's how we all turned out the way we did.
Yeah.
No can. Yeah, that similar thing happened to me in New York where I didn't get on once, and
That's what I remember.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
On
you were
that
the
trip, I
littlest
was
one.
there, and we had the green shirts, Joe and I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Everybody.
It migrated down.
Oh,
Yes,
they
I
did.
think how that worked was all school age kids got to go on vacation, and the little kids stayed home with Mrs. Stefanik, who was
Rose?
Rose and Margaret,
Right.
who were also our cleaning ladies for a while.
They were
But that's-
cleaning ladies at Father Carl's church.
Yes, I
Out
know.
at Avon
That's how we
Lake.
knew them. That's
Yeah.
how we knew them.
Yeah.
But that was the deal. Every year, Mrs. Stefanik came, and we did these really nice vacations.
Yeah.
We would
I remember
shop
that.
and buy lunches at a grocery, or we would get, I guess, dinner at a grocery store,
Oh, yeah.
sandwiches, because in a restaurant, lunches were a lot cheaper. So if we ate out, we'd ate out at lunch, and then we'd just picnic for supper. And we went to New York and down in a coal mine and to Mammoth Cave and
Mhm.
Detroit.
The Welland
To the-
Canal.
Ford
Niagara
factory.
Falls.
Niagara Falls.
The Welland Canal, they let you boys ride on one of the ships through the canals, through the lift
Wow.
canals and everything. Nowadays, you never get away with it, but
Nah.
you know, we
Yeah, they
we
didn't
didn't go
even have
sit at the
fences in those days.
What?
You could walk right into the canal.
Yeah.
Yes,
Probably.
they let us go home with pretty much anybody. I spent the night at the guy that did the cement for our driveway in North Canton. So we lived there from 6 to 12. And I remember
Where is he so screwed up?
because
Part of the payment?
they had au gratin potatoes, which I thought were weird. And the man put ice cubes in his milk, which I thought was really weird. So I must have been, 7, 8, something like that.
Foreigner.
I think they were trying to get rid of you.
Yeah. Well, when we moved to Cleveland,
Yeah,
they
you got the
packed
lucky line.
everything up in the moving van, and it was late in the afternoon, and I got to ride with the moving van guys, and so I went home with the driver, and they lived in a trailer, and him and his wife, and we got up early in the morning, hit the road, and we went to a diner and had breakfast. Wow, is that cool?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't take my car. And I'm still pissed.
Well, I
There
have
was-
a moving van story. When we moved from Canton to North Canton, it was on the first day of school. I was in kindergarten. It was the first day of kindergarten. It wasn't the first day for the rest of the kids. So I rode in the moving van to go with Uncle Jimmy and the driver. And when we got to the new house, Uncle Jimmy walked me up to kindergarten, and they told me that he'd be back to pick me up. Well, he didn't realize kindergarten was a half a day program. He thought it got out at 3 o'clock. It got out at 12. So the poor kindergarten teacher had me for 3 hours and had to feed me. And I didn't know whether I'd been abandoned or what. But
Yeah.
And I don't know where my house is.
yeah, I don't know my phone number. I don't know anything. Oh man.
And
Trauma.
it wasn't that far away.
No, but for a
But you
kindergarten,
For the first day.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh man, it was crazy.
I have
Yeah.
a travel story that involves you older kids.
I'm gonna,
Mom told me this story, but apparently I was in her belly and wasn't really present.
Ah.
But you went with the family had apparently an old Chrysler or
Was it
Dodge touring
DeSoto?
car. Was a long wheel.
It was a
DeSoto, okay.
DeSoto.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, long wheel
48
touring car
DeSoto.
with jump
Yep,
seats.
48 soda.
And you were in Pennsylvania and climbing a long hill, and steam started to come out of the
Yeah.
Oh
motor.
yeah.
Near the
And,
head gasket.
so the head gasket had blown. So apparently all of you kids were coerced into pushing the car sufficient to get it to the crest of the hill,
Oh my
which
God.
wasn't terribly far, and then climbed in and
Coast it.
rolled.
Yep.
He said that you went close to 1.5 miles or 2 miles, and at the bottom of this long hill was
It was
a little crossroads, and at the little crossroads was a little grocery store and a barn building that had a painted sign that said garage. And so you came down the hill, and Dad, there was a stop sign, and Dad looked right and left. There was no cars coming. He shot the stop sign, rolled across, and went right up the ramp into the barn. And Mom took you kids over and cleaned out the grocery store, and then sat on the grass and made sandwiches and stuff, and everybody had naps. And the mechanic is in there, and he says, well, Dad said, I think it's a head gasket. And he looked at it and said, yep, it's a head gasket. It's a flathead 6. And so Dad said he looked around the room, and there was like a couple of fan belts and a couple of tires and some spark plugs and this and that and the other. And hanging on the wall was a head gasket, a metal head gasket. And the guy walked over and picked it off the wall and walked over and said, the motor said, yep, this will work. And so he said, well, I'm on vacation. He says, I'll get right on it. And so it was, I think he spent 3 hours or something, 4 hours of doing this, and, bolted it up and put everything back together and fired it up, and it didn't leak and everything's great. And Dad says, what do I owe you? He says, well, it's $20 too much. And Dad gave him a tip. So,
What?
21.
I'm 22, but
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know,
jeez.
Pretty good.
that's the one where I didn't
hey
get
folks,
in
I
the
need
car.
to try to come back. I'm gonna try to come back on a different internet connection, but if I don't make it, it's great to see all you guys. I'll see you on
Yay!
Facebook.
For
Yeah,
sure.
thanks for
Hey,
coming.
You.
Merry Christmas.
I'll
Happy
see some of
holidays.
you on Facebook.
Oh,
Yeah.
Come to
Good
Colorado
Christmas.
and
thanks,
ski.
Ken.
Hey, have a good holiday. Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Say hi to
Come
Linda.
ski.
Merry Christmas.
You
Yeah,
too.
pass our
Bye-bye.
good wishes along to the rest of your folks.
Will do.
Let's put them on the email list.
Yeah.
And let's, when we have one of these, let's send it to that list that you made that has everybody on it. We'll add Ken and anybody else, and then we just have to send it once.
Cool.
Yeah, if you guys can send me the list, it's easy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Right.
we were on getting the car going down the hill, and it started going too fast, and I couldn't get in the car, so I jumped on the back bumper because it had a like a ledge on it, and I rode that all the way down.
Wow.
Like bumper hitching and Mr. Cutietta's press truck.
Yeah.
Oh, we never did that.
Uh-huh.
God, Mr. Cutietta. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Well,
You're
you know,
really bringing back some old problems.
I started on that route with Eric and just got handed down to Ray and then Mark and then Joe and Bart. I was on that route for over 10 years.
You're not that old.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
29.95, right?
Even Cliff and Les, I worked with them.
Yeah.
Knew all those places. Still hate those iron fire escape stairs from doing all those. I can see through them.
Oh yeah, the Main Avenue Bridge. I used to.
Yeah. Hey,
throw
Mark,
up.
what was the name of the girl that was behind the soda fountain at Uberstein's?
Pat.
What? Say it again. Pat. She looked like a.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Alice
was a little over because
Alice.
Alice
Pat Pines.
at the one on the corner.
Itchy Pines, and he was your like music guy or something, Eric. Do you remember that? I thought he had something to do with you guys worked. I don't know, but she was older.
Yeah.
You know, she was like an adult.
Well, the person that was at the food counter.
The soda fountain back.
She was sometimes, but she was also.
Alice. That was Alice.
Oh, there you go.
But that wasn't Uberstein's. That was the other drugstore up at the corner.
No,
Mayfield.
Uberstein's.
That's
Uberstein's.
Uberstein's. Not
Uberstein's is across from Irv's.
Right.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the lady you went to when you blew up your hand with the M80.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Ow.
I
still
remember
hurt.
that too, because I was walking on the other side of the road and I saw you like the thing, and then it's like you're holding your hand and it was the cars going by. I was trying to say, get rid of it, and then boom.
Oh. Well, I
Especially when he
almost
wasn't holding it tight, you know.
Yeah, I almost took my hat off because one of the Richie boys, being his thug self, had a cherry bomb. No, M80, and he put it on the end of a cigarette and put it in the crotch of a tree. We were all walking on Somerton from the pool coming home, so I got it out of the tree. So I had an M80. So I got all the kids around. We're in the double driveways, and we had a heavy duty pail, like a galvanized pail, but it was a very nice pail. You know, it wasn't the cheesy ones. Anyway, put that on top of the lit M80, and nothing. And just as I bent over to see if it was lit, fucker took up over the roof, came down. All these kids are like, oh, 4, 7, 8. Ah! I think Dad was napping. Man.
The key word being was.
Yeah, he was. The keyword being is okay. Bernie's in charge. Let's see what kind of mayhem we can create.
Yeah.
How many kids can I kill? Jeez.
Well, guys, I'm going to sign off. We've got our neighborhood Christmas party and our Christmas boat parade. So we're going to go out in the neighbor's decorated boat and get lined up with everybody else's and sing Christmas carols and go around the 2 lakes and
nice.
and then have
Very
a big
good.
dinner. So that's my plan.
All right. I love you guys too. I gotta run
Love
myself.
ya.
So.
Love you.
All
Thank
right.
you all.
Happy birthday.
Yes,
See you
love
holidays.
Happy birthday, girl.
Have fun. Happy
You too.
birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Sorry you
Happy
got sick.
birthday.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you guys. Be well.
Bill.
Later.
So, Paul, how's about an update on your family? Because you've been off in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a little bit of a weird ride. So Amy's basically was in pain for about 4 or 5 weeks. Found out she had kidney stones.
Oh,
Supposed to have surgery on the 22nd, and then miraculously 3 days ago passed them.
oh,
So, hey,
Hallelujah.
so that's been a little bit of a wrinkle.
Yeah.
And then, Torn's been applying to colleges. Unfortunately, he didn't get into his first choice. So now he's got to do more applications. He's a little pissed off,
yeah.
but such is life. And
Oh my God. College already.
yeah, it's a little bit nutty. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 18, Zemzem 16. She's doing great.
Oh my God.
And
Zemzem was with Paul for a while. I saw her.
yeah,
I don't know if anybody else saw her.
She stopped by, and Cade stopped by a little bit too. So
Oh.
and Cade's having a great time. He's just he's doing his thing. I think he's off rock climbing right now. That's his sport of choice. So we've been going to some rock climbing competitions with him.
Cool.
I think I sent my mom some pictures or some videos.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good.
And
Good.
he's going to that school that's affiliated with MIT.
Yeah, it's like they call it the New England Innovation Academy. And it's got an enormous maker space, and, they basically tinker, they're programming robots and they're 3D printing things, and it's exactly the right thing to him. He's like,
Yeah.
learning,
Great.
learning to do CAD on his own, and he just likes making stuff. So
Yeah. That's great.
yeah, it's
Good to
a
hear.
pretty good time. And then Amy is she's got another 6 months left in her master's in social work. So she's been doing her rotation. She's got a certain amount of hours she's got to do to get her degree. So she's been working
right,
with schools and
He's
doing
working with children, right?
well, it's kind of 50-50. She's got a bunch of adult clients. So she's got, one-on-one clients, and then she's working in the school, mostly on short-term things, like trying to get kids that are struggling, figuring out what the issues are, and then figuring out what sort of support they need to be successful, and then getting that lined up. Right. So,
And then she's got you too, right?
well, yeah, there's a lot of that. Yeah. but she really likes it. I mean, it's a great for her. So I'm pretty excited for her to, and she'll be happy to get that done with. So
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Susan is an LCSW.
yeah, that's right.
So yeah, I have some vague idea of what you've been going
What else required? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
That
And
sounds
me,
terrific.
I just work my ass off. It's more or less the same. Same
Well,
story.
how's things going with you? This.
So we're getting close. I think I mentioned, we raised I raised $17 million for this next push in the business, and we're trying to get this product into full rate production. So we're over the course of the next 6 to 9 months, we'll be starting up a manufacturing line in Mexico with our contract manufacturing partner, and by the end of next year, we should be basically general availability.
Oh wow.
Well, tell them what the product is.
Yeah. What's the product?
Yeah. So if let's say you have solar on your house, right? It's making you some electrons, right? Maybe you've seen like a Tesla Powerwall you can add to your house, and it'll store extra electricity from the solar, and you can use it at night.
Mm-hmm.
The nice part about that battery is it gives you a little bit of backup, but it's really just a few hours.
Right.
Right. You've probably seen like a Generac or Kohler whole home generator, that you can run when the power's out. Basically, our system looks like a hot water heater, mounts on the side of your house, takes the propane or natural gas that you already have in your house, and it'll basically keep that battery charged. So if you have a multi-day outage, you're in Fat City.
Wow.
And
That's
it'll
great.
cost about,
You know, we're trying to get to market at $7,500, which is the same price as one of those batteries. You know, which interestingly, you know, our product's eligible for the investment tax credit. You know, the same as you get on solar.
Great.
So that, you know, that's 30% off the purchase price, which puts us more or less at the same price as a generator.
Oh,
So,
Wow.
That's
So
pretty
another
cool.
how many KW?
employee discount?
yeah. Hey, listen, once they're ready, you know, once we actually have people to install them, you know, across the country. Right now, we're like super focused on Puerto Rico because their grid's a complete mess.
Right.
Right.
Good.
And then probably, you know, we'll end up in Hawaii and California soon after that. But
We
Good
have
idea.
some power outages out here.
And expensive power too.
I was gonna say it's
Most expensive
65 cents a
power
kilowatt
in the
hours.
world.
What
Say
is
it.
KW to get out of it?
So it's designed to do 1.25 kilowatts, and that's like 30 kilowatt hours a day, which is just a little bit more than the US average home requires. So the idea is the fuel cell plus a battery, you know, would
Right.
basically have the same functionalities of whole home generator.
Cool. And
And
we'll,
we're basically like 3 times more efficient and like no carbon monoxide or NOx or SOx. And it's essentially, it's not any more loud than like a desktop computer.
can you run on LP too?
Would you have to have solar panels, or we just run your system with a battery?
Yeah, you could do without the solar.
You have to have an inverter and a battery.
Yeah, so the battery, most of these batteries now that are hitting the market, like the Tesla Powerwall, have the inverters built into them. And what we've done is we've built the inverter into our product too. So it basically is 240 volt AC grid syncing.
Cool. And then can it run on LP?
Yep. Yeah, actually most of the deployments in Puerto Rico are propane based. You know, in fact,
I got a guy who's got fuel oil, and he, you know, I know he can't use that, but he has got a generator, and we bought solar panels, and he didn't put them up yet. And we have an inverter, and he bought some of those expensive, just 12-volt batteries. So we got 4 of those.
Yep.
And you know, all the stuff sitting there waiting to be put together. But boy, it'd be nice to have a propane backup where you can go and get some of that stuff. And he doesn't use a lot of power. He doesn't have any air conditioning or anything. So
yeah, it's amazing. Like for most homes, like, you know, it's the right size.
Perfect.
So
Cliff wants to-
we've been working on this for 15 years, right? I mean, this is like a long time coming. So long as we can as long as I can keep the money flowing for keeping all these engineers working, you know, and we get it into production, we'll be in Fat City. Hopefully we don't run out of the rocks in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck with everything.
yeah,
Sounds
really
very cool.
Okay. Thanks for
exciting.
sharing that. I like
Yeah.
it.
Cliff
I like
wants to
it.
be a dealer.
Yeah.
You get it on the market.
Huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
It'll either be a roaring success or an enormous pit for money. And we're in the 50-50 right now.
You know, but the thing of it is, when you're working on stuff like that, all the little nuances that come up, there's always workarounds for.
Yeah, it's more a matter of, you know, you gotta at some point, you know, right now we're funding this based on, you know, venture capitalists and rich people putting in money, and at some point that money runs out because they're like, okay, you got to start selling stuff. So
Right, you got to get some ROI. Yeah.
So we're actually burning about $1 million a month.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, how many people do you have now?
Just under 50.
well, good. Good. Wow. I'll go to Puerto Rico and help you install them.
Yeah, it's a nice place. I went for the
In the
first time
winter.
a few months. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. I bet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Talk about a great place for a power product. That grid is completely messed.
Oh,
Every day it goes out.
Wow.
We have test units down there, and some of the people who have the test units in Hurricane Maria, they're out of power for an entire year.
oh.
And some of them, they're out of power for a year. They're out of water, running water for 3 and 4 months.
Oh my God, that's insane.
It's totally insane.
But I understand from somebody else, which I have no backing on, is that they're not a very aggressive, forward-thinking group of people as a general populace.
It's, what I would say is, like, there's island time in a lot of places, right? Things move at a slightly different pace.
Yeah.
But honestly, I mean, I've met a ton of people that in Puerto Rico, working in Puerto Rico, and have done business in Puerto Rico, and they're super bright. They're on it, right? It's just the bureaucracy has been dysfunctional.
Yeah, and that's why they're not getting a lot of assistance from other governments, because it's corrupt and
it is difficult, right? I mean,
the nature of it.
Hi, Diane.
She's right around the corner. Yeah.
I saw her a minute ago.
Hi, hello and goodbye. I gotta go.
I gotta pull out
All
too.
right, we're gonna go to the Pittock Mansion and go take the Christmas tour.
Cool.
And so they have musical instruments as the theme this year. So they're gonna have a bunch of stuff set up with Christmas trees and things. It's a wonderful local landmark, and people should see it if they ever come out. And let's talk about that in the future. I'll be happy to check in next time, perhaps a little more on time and with a little better signal.
Yeah,
right.
we'll get
Everything to everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Hey,
Okay.
rock and roll.
See ya.
Ray, I'll call you on the phone about the cemetery plot.
Oh, okay.
You gave me measures and stuff. I got some ideas, but we'll have to kick around feasibility, and maybe we have to shoot it to Mark too. Because I'm rethinking the whole idea about the bricks, because there's not a lot of room. And what came to mind was putting a panel up where there's some open spaces under the names on the tombstone, and have them removable, like 2 bolts.
Like plaques that you could slide in and out of on a door, kind of thing.
I was thinking of taking the whole stone, maybe 2 stones, 6 on the top, 6 on the bottom, 7 on the top, vice versa, whatever, and putting the names in and the date of birth, and then just have the guy take it down and put in whatever number you got. So it's simple.
Free.
Or leave it blank.
Yeah, there you go. Forever.
Yeah. All right. And then I know that Joe wanted to talk, and I just mentioned real quick about the disposition of ashes. Not that we need to talk any more about that, but it's something that people need to think about, because he gave me the idea that he was just sort of tired of hanging on to ashes. And then I've got Bus's ashes here too. So anyhow, we'll talk later.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
We gotta go Christmas shopping, so.
Yeah.
I think we're all done.
So
I'm done.
I think we're all done. So hey, it was awesome. Thank you for everything.
Sayonara.
Okay, we'll do it again.
All right. Hasta la
Till next
vista.
time.
Bye.
love
All right.
y'all.
Love you. Bye.
All right. See everybody.
Let's
See ya.
Hi, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
I took a mention up real quick about the disposition of ashes, and then we'll talk about it at a different time. So I just wanted to let you know I did that. I think everybody's done for now.
Yeah. I'll take one if nobody else will.
Mhm.
I have no
Okay.
problem with that.
All right, put them in the backyard, All
Okay.
All
right.
right.
Hasta la vista.
Okay.
See you
Talk
guys.
to you in the new year.
All right.
Sounds
Do
good.
I just X out of this?
Yep.
That's all I have to do?
When
Okay.
when are we gonna do it next?
We'll have to talk about it.
Well, it's
In the new year.
Matt's birthday in the middle of January.
Yeah, the 13th.
That's the next one. Then there isn't anybody till
Yeah.
April, I think.
No, Cliff is March 17.
Oh, yeah.
So,
And then April 26th. Yeah.
All right, let's give it some thought. I mean, I think it's best if we send out, an invite and get on people's calendars, well in advance. They can drop stuff around.
Why don't we set up some, at this point, let's look for March.
Yeah.
And get it in, they give people a little chance.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day.
There
Quarterly.
we go.
there you
Okay.
go.
Yeah, green beer and everything. All right, rock and roll.
Yeah.
See you.
Love y'all.
Bye-bye. Hey, Bird.
Bye.